Hi, English 10B. Today we're talking about subject and verb identification. You will need a pen or a pencil and a highlighter. Subjects. What are they and why do we need them? A subject is a word or a phrase used to identify any class of people, places, or things, common nouns, or to name a particular one of those, such as a proper noun. They are needed to make a complete sentence. Ask yourself, who or what is doing something in these sentences? Mrs. Sebens loves attending baseball games on sunny days. Don't be confused with multiple nouns in a sentence. Remember, the subject is the main actor of the sentence. So Mrs. Sebens is the subject of this sentence. 2. Go clean your room. This one's trickier because it's a command. The subject is not actually seen in this sentence. It's the person who's receiving the command, you. Verbs. Where can we find them? A verb has many different forms. It can show action or state of being. A verb may tell what the subject of the sentence does or what happens. This kind of verb is an action verb. The action of the verb may be seen or unseen. The verb may tell that something exists. This kind of verb is a state of being verb. You might have learned all of these verbs previously in English 9b. These are just a few action verbs, state of being verbs, and linking verbs that you might be familiar with. Exercise 1. Main subject and verb identification exercise. Underline the subject once and underline the verb twice in each sentence. Go ahead and pause this video now to get this done. Great, let's go through the key. Number 1, the eagle guarded her nest. Eagle is the subject, guarded is the verb. 2. On the other side of the tracks stood the church. Church is the subject, stood is the verb. This one's a little trickier because the subject follows the verb. 3. Emily is a very good artist. Emily is the subject, is the verb. 4. The fire nearly destroyed the field house. Fire is the subject, destroyed is the verb. 5. From the attic came a strange sound. Sound is the subject, came is the verb. 6. Our class decorated the hall for the bazaar. Class is the subject, decorated is the verb. 7. Mary hit the ball over the fence. Mary is the subject, hit is the verb. 8. High above our heads stretched the Eiffel Tower. Eiffel Tower is the subject, stretched is the verb. Again, be careful with subjects that might follow the verb. They are a little bit harder to find. Go ahead and pause here as you go through this second exercise in this packet. When you're done, we'll go through the key. Great, let's take a look. The directions read, underline the subject once and underline the verb twice in each sentence. Go ahead and pause me periodically so you can take a look at the key and correct your errors. You might have noticed that there are some parts of the sentence that are crossed out. That is because you're going to notice that it has a dependent clause attached to an independent clause in the sentence. Remember, your subject and verb will always be in the independent clause of the sentence. It will never be in the dependent clause.